Hi Caroline, good to see you.
Hi Rod, how are you today?
It's isolation time. I'm going to summarise because, I'm going to summarise what we're going to talk about today and then we'll get into the detail. We're going to cover 5 topics. First, dogs and their coats, whether or not it can transfer infection from one person to another, can. Second thing is forming neighbourhood networks.
Yes.
The third thing, I want to talk about telephone problems that we're experiencing here and other businesses because of NBN. Also, I want to talk about something that happened this morning with somebody who's in isolation mode who turned up. And finally, I want to address how you can get your animal records emailed to you from us should for some reason you be stuck in the country and you need the records. Caroline.
Okay, the most pressing question at the moment. Can the virus live on dog's fur?
Okay, no research I know of, but the answer is yes, because the dog's coat is a thing called a fomite. If you want to look it up, F-O-M-I-T. Don't have to worry about that. A fomite is any physical surface that can transfer an infection, in this case the virus, from an infected person to a non-infected person. And how it happens and can happen is at the park, you see your friend's dog,
Yes.
It comes up to you, you cough on the dog or you've got contagion on your hands, that doggy goes back to the owner who then goes home and they pet the dog. Now there's no research.
Very, very important. This is very important.
Yeah.
There were lots and lots of people at the park on the weekend and all the dogs were socialising, all the dogs were playing. So this is very important.
Okay, so I'm not sure if one dog's coat can pass it to another dog's coat.
Yes.
It's when an infected person pats your dog.
Okay.
So socialisation or physical isolation probably also needs to apply to the dogs at the park as a preventative of you getting the infection from somebody else through touching their dog.
Okay.
Okay, dogs can't get the disease though.
Yes.
And just to finally, I know we've got to be tight. Finally, if you want to do something proactive when you take your dog home and you feel you've come into contact with somebody who might have had it, washing your dog in doggy shampoo will kill the virus.
Okay.
Just like washing our hands for 20 seconds will kill the virus.
Another really important thing is I was having a conversation with a friend this morning and I thought, oh my God, I live alone with my dogs. What happens if something happens to me and I go to hospital?
Okay.
I need a plan in place for my dogs. Who's going to look after my dogs?
A big concern of a lot of people, not just living by themselves. This is the time to give up those petty fights with the neighbours. This is the time that we need to form networks. Keep an eye on your neighbours and perhaps go to them and have an at-distance conversation, a physical separation conversation, so that if you have to go to hospital suddenly, like in an ambulance,
Yes.
somebody has access to your house, somebody has a plan of what to do with your dogs.
Yeah.
Or cats, or any
animal. I think as well as this is not the time for petty things, and it's very important to be kind to everybody. And in saying that, there's a lot of friends of mine and friends of Rod's that have lost their jobs and are in situations that they never thought that they would be in before.
I had a conversation over the last few days with quite a lot of people, and particularly a new client came in today to get his puppy vaccination. I always like to engage with people. I like to find out what they do. And I said, oh John, what do you do for work? And he said, I used to be in marketing. Now we're going to hear this a lot over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
People losing their jobs and what to do. Well, sharing, if you're getting concerned, sharing conversations with friends. This is the time for friends and networks again.
And here at the Amazing Village Fair, you've helped a very good friend of mine, Bill, who is a travel agent and has a huge business, and he has found himself on the front line. And thanks to Rod.
Well, no, it's also thanks to Bill. After the last video, I said to Caroline, we need a dedicated front office person. And she said, I've got the person for you. So increasingly, the message is, if you've lost your job, start thinking laterally. Start using your networks. New positions are going to pop up all of a sudden. And for Bill's now got a job, who knows for how long, depending on how long which we must talk about, how long we stay open for. But that's why I'm getting, don't get disheartened. In the new economy, new positions will pop up.
Absolutely.
Now, telephone, we've had a few people say, we've been trying to ring you, we can't get through.
Yes.
And it's not just us that's having this problem. The NBN telephone system apparently at times is getting a little bit overloaded. If you can't get through to us, plan B, always have plan Bs,
Yes.
is info@villagevet.com.au. It's on our webpage. Send us an email. We are constantly monitoring our emails. So if you can't get through, send us an email, let us know, we'll contact you if we can.
Yeah, or even comment on Rod or my Instagram at Lady Diamond Bear, and we can inform each other.
Yeah. So I think, the isolation. We had an unusual situation this morning, it nearly got out of hand, but we've put a lid on it. We had a person come today who was in isolation. He'd been overseas, knew he had to be in isolation, had a problem with his dog, which he perceived as an emergency, and possibly it was. So he brought the dog here, admitted that he was in isolation, stood outside, he's done all the right things, except he broke isolation. Now, he didn't know, but somebody saw him in the street, knew he should be in isolation, and rushed in here and was very upset and was going to call the police. So the message is, if you are in isolation, for whatever reason, you stay in isolation.
Yeah, that's where we use our networks. Use
friends.
a neighbour, use a friend, get somebody to come over and take the dog for you.
Don't break isolation. Apparently it's becoming a criminal offence to do
Absolutely.
that. I'm not quite up to date with that. However, that's about all I want to say now that's popped up. We'll do another one probably either at the end of the week or next week with issues that come up.
Yeah, look, issues are coming up every day and daily, even hour by the hour, even in the news and with us. So if there's anything that you would like to know from Rod or myself, please don't hesitate to comment, send us a message or an email, or phone the Village Vet. Keep safe.
Yeah, and increasingly we both are using Instagram to connect quickly with information.
Yes,
the Village Vet is Toorak Village Vet, or Village Vet Toorak is our Instagram thing, and yours is?
At Lady Diamond Bear.
Yeah, so we're not struggling, we've got plans, but they're changing constantly. So if you found that we've had to modify, ring you up and say we've got to change what you're doing, be understanding. We haven't been through this before, but we are certainly being proactive to make things work.
Yeah, we are all in this together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A whole new world's developing.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.